This is sports stuff. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Betting stuff.
Bets. We're back.
We are back for the madness, for the brackets, for the challenge, for the cup. Nah, we're here for the
What
ship.
in what in your cup?
What? Put what in your cup? This is sports stuff, betting stuff, the number one sports betting podcast coming out of the sports stuff with Jim and Muff Enterprise. I'm your host, the original degenerate, Muff.
Hello, Muff.
Hello,
I
alongside
thought Jim said I am Muff. I'm like, that was confusing. You were not Muff.
alongside is Kraken fan extraordinaire, the Ohio Homer, now the
Hello.
Ohio degenerate, James.
Yes,
Straight out of the crack house.
straight out the crack house.
Straight out of the crack house. I agree. And also with us is the medical degenerate, the degenerate of the bear. For those that are watching on YouTube, Alex has a new token. So for those that are new to the betting show, we all have our own little gift to Gambler, gift to the gods, the gambling gods. Alex's new token is, Alex, describe it for those that are just listening.
This is my cream and brown bear sweater that I got intoxicated and bought one night online. And it is extremely cozy.
It was glorious.
And it's pretty glorious. Jim, explain
Never
your
been
token
motivated to look at the YouTubes. You can see the sweater if you look.
right now.
Right now. Here it is. All right. And it's gone. And it's here. And it's gone.
Jim, your token?
I'm rocking the Kraken custom designed hat made by my wife.
Good
Super
job.
pumped about it.
Did she get it from Harper and Company?
No, she should have. So she had a
Oh.
custom patch on a flat bill black hat. I kind of bent this one up. So
We'll get there. And my token are these breaker sunglasses, sort of like Vipers, but not. They're cheaper.
faux vipers.
Faux Vipers. I bought these in Colorado because, I had to go all the way to Colorado to buy it.
I mean, we'll call them
Like this.
copperheads, if you will.
Hater blockers.
I think you've said that before, Alex.
Well, if you missed it, Muff's hater blockers.
Hater blockers.
Hello, loyal listeners, Sports Hub Jim and Muff. This is take number 4. But I would like for you to rate, comment, subscribe, poke, tickle. I can't say anything else because there are children around. So do all the fun things.
So this week's episode and the weeks subsequently are going to be all about the madness. All about
Let's
March
get down in
Madness.
Dribble Town.
All about the men's basketball tournament. Because I'm just going to be honest, it's a shot in the dark anyway to bet the men's basketball tournament in some cases. And I would just tell you now, it would be just taking the most random guesses possible to bet the women's tournament. So
pay attention where I can.
Yeah. But as a reminder, we do have tourney bracket challenges for both the men's and women's tournaments. Free entry, free prizes. Still not sure what your prizes are going to be, but they will be free. You can get at Sports Gym Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Get into the link in the bio through the link tree. Sign up through ESPN. You can have up to 3 entries in each tournament bracket challenge.
I'm excited. I couldn't find the women's bracket today. I'm not worried about it, but I'm all in on the men's.
When you mean you couldn't find it, you mean
I looked for it and it could not be found.
the bracket or getting to our page with it?
Getting to our page with it.
That's upsetting.
I know. It's user error. It's my fault. That's all it is.
Probably, Alex says.
I'll figure it out.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So what we will do is we're going to go through all of the first round games. Now, obviously, we are going to continue after Thursday and Friday's games. We'll have to keep up individually with what we're going to do with each of Saturday and Sunday's matchups so we can see who the best picker is. Our basic ground rules thus far, as I think I understand it, because we're just rolling through this as we can, people. It's not like we sat down for 5 hours and figured out a strategy. We're like most people that just print it out, write it down, and give it to their friend and say, "Here's $5. Hopefully, I win."
Except we're playing for more than $5.
Potentially,
Well, our bets.
right?
I
Potentially.
mean, I freaking hope
You freaking hope what?
we're playing for more than $5 here.
Oh, like us against each other?
No, like what we're putting down here for units.
Oh, you're gonna put down more than $5 each game?
No, in general, you ass.
Okay. All right. So the basic ground rules that we've decided are we are going to be betting almost exclusively on spreads and over under. We can bet a money line if it is obviously an underdog, or up to, do we want to say 3.5? Is that about
Yeah.
where we draw that line of
Yeah, I think that's about fair.
a favorite money line? Because a 3.5 point favorite is usually what, about 120, 125 probably, maybe
Yeah.
up to at most 140 favorite. So I think we can sustain about a 140, a minus 140 line on a money line favorite in the tournament. So we're going to go through all of the games first in our discussion, and then you may get glean where we're leaning on certain games as we go through that. And then we'll go through what our first round bets are throughout all of this. So we locked, loaded, and ready to go.
We're ready.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. First, the playing games. We're just going to talk about these. We'll give you picks. We're not putting these towards our records because
Yes.
playing games are always even more of a crapshoot to me in any case. So as far as the playing games, we have games on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. This episode will come out on Tuesday, so get pumped, get excited. In the first game on Tuesday, we have Southeast Mississippi. Is this Mississippi State or Missouri State?
Oh, we're off
Missouri
to a good
State.
start. We're off to
Missouri
a good
State.
start.
This is Missouri State
It's a playing game.
versus Texas A&M
Corpus Christi,
Corpus Christi.
I think.
Right, that is correct. It took me a second. Texas A&M Corpus Christi favored by 4 points in the first game. I'm hoping for an exciting game just to get things going. You get a 7 o'clock, 6:40 tip on a Tuesday. Let's just get high scoring. Let's go.
I'm in. In my little bracket. I have circled Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, for no reason other than that's just who I picked.
I want to say that they like whatever conference they're in seems to get playing games because I think they've played in the playing game before.
Yeah, I agree with you. That name sounded very familiar.
Yeah, it seems unfortunate because they're a conference champion. I think conference champions should be eliminated from the playing game.
Like that, you should just automatically get in.
You automatically get in the field of 64. Now I understand that part of this, I think, when they did the playing games, was also to give these teams an opportunity to get a tournament win. If not, they'd probably be like a 16 seed most times.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it.
I will never understand why the playing games aren't all 16 seeds.
Yeah.
I will never, ever, not, that will never make sense to me.
I support what you just said 100%. That being said, is this for a 16 seed?
That one is, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And the other 2 are for
11s.
Yeah, whatever.
Why?
In the second game on Tuesday night, we have Pittsburgh, the Panthers, taking on Mississippi State. Mississippi State favored by 2.5.
I like Pitt in this game. I hate Pitt all around, and everyone knows that. But Pitt had they had their moments this basketball season where they look like a decent team. I think that they come out on top.
Both of these teams are average teams from an average conference that just happens to have, well, you know what? The SEC has the number 1 overall seed, and Mississippi State is just what it is. Pitt is coming from a mediocre conference. The ACC is a down year in my mind. So I'm actually going to go the other way on this, Alex. I'm going to take Mississippi State money line in this. I'm not betting it, but that would be where I would go.
I'm going to take Pitt money line.
The dog. Jim's taking the dog plus the points. Jim, that could be your risky pick of the week.
I'm hammering it home right now.
I think we should stay away from specialty picks.
I'm hammering it home. Just hammering it home. Done.
Jim's Dickie V risky D of the week.
My risky dick of the week.
Jim's risky dick of the leg.
Jim's Dickie V risky D of the week.
Oh, who needs a risky D?
Goodness. And getting into Wednesday action in the playing games, we have Texas Southern taking on Farley Dickinson.
Barely Dickinson.
They're Farley going to get anywhere.
I had no idea. I had to Google what it said. F. Dickinson, and I was like, "What?" I also put F. Dickerson and got down some rabbit hole about some guy from history, and I was like, "Oh, that's probably the school's named after." And then I realized that the school is Dickinson, not Dickerson.
So yeah, give me Texas Southern.
I know a lot about
line.
Yeah.
And in the other playing game on Wednesday night, we have for an 11 seed Arizona State taking on Nevada. Arizona State favored by 2.5.
I take Arizona State here. Sun Devils.
I'm gonna take Nevada plus the points.
All right, feeling good about us really going against Muff lately.
I'm not writing any of these down, so I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. No, those don't matter.
Those don't count. So all the fun to be had in that. And I mean, to be honest, all pretty even matches, right?
Yeah, they'll be. I just am like you. I'm like you. I'm just hoping for some good games to watch those first couple days, get a little warm up.
On Thursday, well, the South region,
The southern region, the southern parts.
Birmingham, Orlando, Denver, which I'm not really sure how that makes South, and Sacramento. Those are the 4 cities we're playing in out of South.
Yeah, how does Denver play into that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Guys, we got a lot of games to get through here. Come on. Come on.
You trying to hurry this up?
I mean, we haven't even started, and you guys are
Birmingham's also in the Midwest.
Birmingham also in the Midwest. So in the Southern region, we have the number 1 overall seed, Alabama, in this region, with the 2 seed being Arizona, and then so on and so forth down that line. We will start out with the Thursday games, which is Alabama taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi or Southeastern Missouri State.
Bama wins.
I think we can all get on board with that. I'm going to say Bama covers. I'm just going to toss that in there. What do we do with the playing games? We're going to leave those out of our.
I think that's what we have to do.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'm going to say Bama covers, but Bama definitely win. Yes. In the Thursday 12-15 game, we have Maryland taking on West Virginia.
West Virginia favored by Virginia.
West Virginia favored by 2.5 points.
Give me. Oh, I forgot we're not doing it.
Yeah, we got to wait and then do this all over again.
Mountaineers.
Oh, yeah. So we got a team coming from the Big 12. Alex, what was West Virginia's final record?
West Virginia's final record was 19-14.
Okay.
Hear me out on this. WVU wins. Alabama wins. WVU upsets the number 1 overall seed in the tournament in Birmingham.
Hit the mute button. Do we have that option?
And Maryland coming from the Big 10, most likely, in many people's eyes, the second best conference in the land this year. Usually it's the Big 12. And then I think the Big 10 definitely was better than the ACC this year, definitely better than the Pac-12. And the SEC, as from top to bottom, the Big 10 was a better division or better conference. So,
but that is not an excuse to retain Chris Holt. Just clarify that for us here in Columbus. That is not a reason to keep Chris Holt.
All right.
So I'm hoping for this to be a good game. Both teams can compete. So
no one gets hurt.
Right.
Can we are we making our picks now?
No, we're not. We're talking.
Okay.
You can say that you're leaning. Next in Thursday action in the South, we have San Diego State taking on the College of Charleston.
We talked about this yesterday, the hometown ties.
Yeah. San Diego State is favored by 5.5, and the College of Charleston has 2 count them, two former West Liberty University players in Dalton Bolin and Patrick Robinson the third, I believe. So that would be interesting. That will play into my pick. See where that goes later.
The College Charleston has some good wins this year.
Yeah, they're typically a good team, and they play like 9 or 10 deep. So
Yeah.
they are sort of similar to anybody in the hometown that keeps up with this, similar to a West Liberty style, right?
Yep.
They're running and gunning. I think they play 10 deep so they can continue a pace of play, which may be why West Liberty players have kind of found a niche going to that
There.
school. Yep. Next, we have Virginia taking on Furman. Virginia favored by 5.5 points in a 4 versus 13 matchup. Virginia, not a very strong offensive team, as is typical. They're a strong defensive team. I know zero about Furman,
I got nothing on
but
Furman.
Virginia defensive prowess is, you can count on it just like you can count on Jim to swear during any episode.
Yeah, buddy.
We're to complain about talking about basketball.
Yeah, buddy.
Just like today. Another Thursday action, we have the 7 seed Missouri taking on Utah State. Utah State as the 10 seed, favored by 1.5 points. Only in the Division I tournament do you have a 10 seed favored over a 7 seed.
I'm interested how often that's happened before.
I feel like it's one of those matchup things, right? Utah State in another region could
Yeah.
be a 5-point underdog.
Yeah.
This has got to be a matchup situation. And I don't know enough about Utah State, nor do I know a whole bunch about Missouri. So that's going to be one of those that I'm probably going to tread lightly and take
Oh,
them.
I'm leaning Mizzou, baby. Hammer it.
Plus the points, money line, Jim.
Money line probably.
Nice.
And in the last game in the South region on Thursday, we have Arizona, the 2 seed, taking on them smart ass children from Princeton. Arizona favored by 13.5. So the Ivy League had a tournament, right? This is like the second or third year, maybe they've had a tournament. Princeton came out victorious.
Victorious.
So
good for them.
It is good for them. Typically, Princeton and the Ivy League teams have a different pace of play, ball controlling pace of play, which will come into.
You mean they're smart and calculated?
Yes. Ball control philosophy, Alex. That's what we'll call that. Yeah, that's where we're gonna go. And in Friday matchups in the South region, we have number 6 Creighton taking on North Carolina State. 6 versus 11. Creighton 6 favored by 5.5 points.
I am kind of surprised it's not a little more. Creighton plays a tough schedule. I mean, they still play like a good Big East conference.
They play a Big East schedule. Good is debatable.
Well, yeah, but I feel like generally the Big East within themselves is competitive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Creighton in this one. Or lean Creighton. Sorry, not to give it away.
I'm leaning that way myself.
Leaning with the Blue Jays. And in the last game in this region, we have number 3 Baylor taking on UC Santa Barbara. Baylor as the 3 seed favored by 11.5 points.
That's not a very big spread for a 3-14. Baylor is a good team. Baylor's a good team with their best player being Keontae George, who is a freshman. The only concern I have whenever it's a freshman leading your team is just composure, having been there before, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera. All right. That wraps up the South region. Just let's do a real quick. We're just going to go with it. Gun to your head. Who comes out of this region?
Bama.
Yeah.
I take that back. WVU.
Poor choice of words, but
Poor choice of words.
Why? Who do you think, Muff?
Oh no, it's Bama.
Oh, okay.
It's what I led into that with. It was a poor choice of words. You get it, Jim?
I was Bama. I agree.
Do you get it?
No, I'll just keep moving, Muff. I'm trying to survive this episode. This is not my sport. This is not my bag. Trying to. I made a promise during this whole bet thing and during football that I was going to bet every one of these damn games. So here we go, baby.
Baby, here we
Yeah,
go.
I'm saying that a lot this episode because I just want to fit in with you basketball nuts.
Dickie V's Risky D of the Week.
Baby!
Going
Jimmy
into the
C's Risky D.
Dickie V's Risky D to the East region. Where in Thursday matchups, we only have two of them in this region. Duke, the number 5 seed, taking on Oral Roberts,
Oral.
the 6.5 seed. This could be Dickie V's Risky D of the Week for Jim.
I like the Oral Bobbies.
The Oral Bobbies.
I did not come up with that. Just
Bobby.
I mean Duke's a wagon coming in my mind. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for me to get off of Duke in the early going. So definitely leaning that direction.
I feel like there's always a 12-5 upset. Oral Roberts coming in 30-4. Duke's not the Duke of old. I'm just saying, watch out.
We're not the Duke of old throughout most of the season, but in the last third of the season, they poured it on Alex.
Give me Duke, baby!
They got a PTPer in Filipowski.
Let's go.
Okay. And in the other Thursday game in the East region, we have number 4 seed Tennessee taking on Louisiana Lafayette, the Rag and Caggins.
Rag and Caggins. I should bet that for old Joji, but I'm not.
Tennessee favored by 10.5. That's a 13-4.
You know what? I'm gonna.
Plus the points.
Plus the points.
Okay. Jim's locking it in.
I like the Rag and Caggins, I think. Tennessee usually lets me down. I start by rooting for Tennessee and then they let me down all around. Every sport.
Rag and Caggins for you.
Not to be dramatic. Not to be dramatic.
At all times. Every sport. In Friday action, we've got number 1 seed in this region, Purdue, taking on the winner of Texas Southern and Fairleigh Dickinson, as Alex. If we put Alex and I's mispronunciations together, it's Farley Dickerson.
Not Fairleigh Dickinson.
Go ahead, Alex.
Purdue went 4-4 going into the Big Ten tournament and barely squeaked by Penn State in the Big Ten championship.
Alex had to put in quotes just for the world.
No offense to Muff.
No
I was
offense to
rooting.
me.
You can ask my dad. I was rooting for Penn State, and I told him, I said, because he was surprised, because I usually don't, just as a general rule. I think I don't root for Penn State more just because I don't root for the Big Ten, mainly because Jim has made me not a Big Ten fan. But I was rooting for them, and I said, because that's Muff's team.
Yeah, and to be honest, the fact that Penn State was even in that game at the end was a minor miracle because they lost by like 15-20 in the regular season.
Well, and I stopped. I was kind of half watching on my phone, half watching West Lib with my family, half whatever. And I quit. I just turned my phone off because it was, you guys went down 10, and I was like, yeah, that's a hole, good run. And then I put it up on my phone. I was like, oh my gosh, 3 seconds left.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Penn State's ball.
The ball. I was at a robotics tournament, so I didn't watch any of that game.
It was a poor last possession, but
whatever. But Purdue, I mean, Purdue's going to be tough to beat for any team. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of this, but it's going to be tough to beat in any team that does not have a big man presence. Because Zach Edey will eat anybody up that does not have size in the middle.
Yes.
So going to be tough, or that can't extend the floor to get him out onto the wing or to make a forced defensive strategic change. So we will see. Getting into,
I wouldn't go on the end. I wouldn't do the ins and outs of the big man presence eating things up either, Muff.
You mean Zach Edey is his name, Jim?
Let's move on. Memphis, Florida Atlantic.
Number 8, Memphis taking on 9, Florida Atlantic. Memphis favored by 1.5. Jim, name one college basketball player for me. I need you to name one, just one.
I just love whenever Jim starts laughing at himself.
You can't even name Brandon Miller for Alabama?
I'm laughing at Muff. I can't laugh at me. I'm not gonna go on the ins and outs with the big man eating things out in the process. Oh God.
All right. Any thoughts on Memphis, Florida Atlantic?
Give
Um,
me Memphis. I'm leaning. Alex, the
send
spread
you
is moved though. The
Memphis.
spread is now 2.5.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
No,
Don't
it's
think it's
early
going to
on.
change. Don't think it's going to change. Yeah, this is the time where you can see a lot of action just going different ways.
Don't know if that impacts anything. I was trying to be a good reporter here.
Thank you. Good job, Jim.
Yeah.
You found a new
I
title.
appreciate
Are
it.
you now a
Just keep
reporter?
this.
You breaking news? You breaking news tonight?
I just broke it. I don't want to go on the ins and outs of it, but
Another Friday games in the East region. We have the 6th seed Kentucky taking on Providence. Kentucky favored by 3.5 points. John Calipari
give me
taking on.
Kentucky.
Providence.
Ooh, just giving out picks. Giving out picks. In Friday, in a late game, we've got number 3 Kansas State taking on number 14 Montana State. Alex, this is a 14-3 matchup that is even smaller spread.
I know.
Eight and a
They're
half
small
Kansas
this year.
State.
I don't know if it's because we usually see like some 12-5, 13, or 14-3 upsets. They're just making the spreads a little closer this year. I still like Kansas. I like Kansas State in this game. I feel good about that.
This is the coach whose heart exploded, right?
No, that was Bill Self. He's for Kansas.
Kansas. Yeah.
Okay.
And his
Heart
heart did not explode.
He got a catheterization, not catheterization.
Yes.
That'd be different.
Yes, it was. It was
Okay.
heart catheterization.
Okay.
Heart cath. 2 stents.
2 stents.
I'm taking Kansas State in this one.
The cover.
Yeah.
Okay. In other action, we have
Muff,
January.
I'm not allowed to tell you these things till the end, remember?
That's fair. Next in Friday action from the East region, we have January, February Izzo taking on University of Southern California. Michigan State favored by 2.5 points.
I feel like this is the year that Izzo gets bounced.
Beep, 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 beep,
Look.
beep. Breaking news.
What's the
I
breaking
agree.
news?
I agree with Alex.
If Michigan State lost to Ohio State in the tourney, they're going to get beat by USC.
I think that's a poor representation because multiple teams lost to Ohio State in the tourney, Jim.
They shouldn't have.
No, I agree.
True story. We will see where that gets Michigan State and Sparty in this one. Are they still Michigan State Spartans sponsored by Rocket Mortgage? Is that still a
Ooh.
thing?
I don't know. We should figure that out. We'll do some recon on that.
That sounds like a good job for Jim, dude. Keep
I
it.
will.
And not last
I will
game.
look into the ins and outs of this.
Go report, Jim. And in the not the last game chronologically, but the last game on our slate for Friday from the East region, we have number 2 Marquette taking on number 15 Vermont. Marquette, coached by Shaka Smart, favored by 11.5. A lot of positive news about Marquette, and I have admittedly not kept up with the Big East.
Marquette is one of those teams that always is right there.
Right. And Shaka Smart is a tested coach, right?
Yes.
He can get, he's like Tom Izzo. You know, if you're in the tournament, you have a shot just because your coach has been there and you trust the process.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people that are high on Marquette because of the Shaka Smart advantage, we'll call it. And also when you think about this region, it seems to me like you have some traditionally strong teams that are on off years, right?
I have Marquette coming out of this region. I'll just rip the Band-Aid off now.
Yeah. No, you just didn't say how you're getting there, it just says that you're getting there. But yeah, there are a lot of people that are high on Duke and Marquette out of this division and not as high on the Kentuckys and Purdue's and Michigan States. So we will see what that proves. Comes to be for later. Next, we get into Midwest region. Jim, we have any update on Michigan State?
That was a 5-year deal they signed last year. So yes, they are still part of the sponsorship deal.
I forgot what we were talking about. I'm like, what is he talking about? Got
Michigan State sponsored by Rocket Mortgage, Alex.
Got it.
In the Midwest, we've got 4 games on both Thursday and Friday. In Thursday action, we have the number 1 seed Houston taking on Northern Kentucky. Houston, big favorite, 19.5. Alex, you have some
I
comments?
just think that Houston is okay, but they're not in a fantastic conference. I'll be interested to see when they're tested against better teams.
Against better teams. Yeah, I think Houston, they'll beat the teams they're supposed to beat. And when I
But
say
I,
that, like the teams that they're heavily favored against.
yeah, but I don't see them getting past, let's say Texas comes out and that's who they meet up with in the Elite Eight. I don't see them beating Texas.
That's fair. That is fair. We'll see how this goes. Next, we have number 8 seed Iowa taking on Auburn. Iowa favored by a half point. So that was a pick 'em.
Yeah, you don't see those too often in basketball games like this.
This is the
I mean, it
algorithm.
isn't
The
8-9.
algorithm. The
It is
algorithm
8-9, but
yeah. So yeah, Iowa is most notably, I think over the past like handful of years, anytime they've gotten the tournament, have not done well. Like
yeah.
even with like some positive vibes going in or a good season, they just have not been competitive when it gets into the tournament. So we will see what this looks like in Auburn. Isn't Bruce Pearl the head coach at Auburn?
Yes.
Yeah. So Bruce Pearl is battle tested.
Mhm.
So got a lot going on there. Next in Thursday night action, we have Texas A&M taking on Penn State. Texas A&M favored by 2.5. Penn State obviously did make it to the Big Ten championship game. Texas A&M, I think, isn't Buzz, whatever his name is, the coach at Texas A&M right now, former Virginia Tech coach.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
trying
there.
to think.
I think there was some debate about Texas A&M seed. Maybe people thought they did not deserve as high as a 7 seed, so that may bode in Penn State's favor.
What is happening, Jim? You said seed. So he can't breathe now. He's laughing too hard. Because
There's
you
some
said
debate over the Texas seed.
Something you want to say, buddy? Got hate in your heart?
you think we were talking about a different kind of seed.
I know exactly what Jim's talking about.
Oh, okay.
He can be. He
Wait,
can
if you look at
go.
the football team, I bet there is some debate. Oh, Quinn Ewers.
This is Texas A&M, Jim.
I thought we were talking about Texas and Colgate. Oh, we're still in the Penn State game.
He quit paying attention a while ago.
You didn't even know what was being discussed.
Listen, it's basketball. I apologize.
Um, is it recency bias that I like Penn State a little here, you think?
It probably is a recency bias for a lot of people coming in. This is what, again, I don't know enough about Texas A&M as a team, but I do think that Penn State in an even matchup is going to do well overall in the tournament because they do have that 3-point advantage. I mean, they shoot, I think, top 5 most attempted threes per game. And then they can slow it down towards the end of the game with Jalen Pickett, who's just looks like he plays at the YWCA every day. Like he's just got that kind of vibe to him, or the YMCA, whatever you want to go to.
I lean towards Penn State.
Yeah. I mean, as a fan, I'm going to lean that way also.
Yeah.
And the last game in the Midwest region on Thursday is the game that Jim apparently wanted to talk about. So, Jim, tell us about Texas and Colgate.
Some bad seeds in Texas.
Is that all you got?
I should have done edibles before this, and it made the show so much more fun.
Bad seeds in Texas and in good teeth in Colgate.
Good teeth in Colgate, yeah.
Texas favored by 13.5 in the 2 versus 15 match up. Let's see where people feel confidence there. Getting into Friday games in the Midwest. We have number 5 seed Miami taking on 12 seed Drake. And not the artist.
See, I was wondering if we were going to go there.
Miami favored by 2.5. Miami's had an up and down season. Like
I'm going to roll with them.
You're going to roll with the U?
Yeah.
I think I may be in conflict with that bet later on in the show. Next, in Friday action in the Midwest, we have Indiana, the 4 seed, taking on Kent State. Can't read, can't write. Kent State. Indiana favored by 4.5.
Give me IU.
I like IU. I like IU to go a little bit in this one.
Yeah, they've got what's his name, Taylor Jones, last name Taylor Jones, I believe. He's I want to say he's going to be an NBA draft pick. I don't know if he's going to be a lottery pick, but he's going to be an NBA draft pick someday. Which I think they can ride him very far into this tournament, at least past the first weekend, if they would like.
Not just a one night stand. Ride him for a long time.
Dear Lord.
Jim, you know what you need to do if you have not already? Get onto your Twitter machine and start following John Rothstein
I was gonna make
for the tournament.
another suggestion that it seems like Jim needs to do, but I'm not gonna bring it up on the show.
Alex, you can do this on the show.
I just think you need attention, special attention.
Let's move on.
Did you start taking that testosterone we told you not to take, Jim?
Right.
Just curious.
We specifically said no.
No,
This is how bad I hate the sport.
Oh,
Good grief.
all right, let's keep
Next
moving.
at Friday action in the Midwest, we have Iowa State 6 seed taking on the 11 seed Mississippi State or Pitt from that play-in game.
Pitt.
Alex is a Pitt fan this week.
I'm not a Pitt fan, but I just have a
Oh.
feeling. And I'd rather mentally prepare for it. Do you know what I mean? And be like, at least I called the win. Than be disappointed twice.
All right. So we'll see where that ends up. Again, we don't have to make a pick in that one towards our records. Next in Friday action, we have Xavier, X to the A, Xavier, taking on the 14 seed Kennesaw State. Xavier favored by 11.5 in this one.
That's one of my tough ones.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think that's very tough for me.
So all right. Basketball high spreads bother me. I don't know.
All right.
Yet I've seen you take like 20-point spreads in football.
Yeah. Nope. Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
So why? This makes no sense to me.
I don't understand. Like, I don't get the game very well.
I think we've proven that sufficiently today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. And lastly, in the West region, starting out on Thursday, we have the number 1 seed. Wait, we have it. Yeah, the number 1 seed, Kansas, taking on Howard. Kansas favored by 21.5 points. See, Howard just gets thrown to the Wolves here. This should be a play-in game, right?
Yeah.
Have Howard play Fairleigh Dickerson.
Yeah. I am firmly with you.
So probably not much to talk about there. In other Thursday action in the West, we have Arkansas taking on Illinois. Arkansas favored by 2.5 points.
I like Illinois here.
The Illini.
Yeah.
This is another one of those SEC Big Ten matchups, and how do you feel about those conferences? So we shall see. Another Big Ten team in the 7 seed, Northwestern taking on Boise State. Northwestern favored by 1.5. Northwestern bounced by Penn State in the Big Ten tournament. Northwestern, I believe, was the 2 seed
In the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, the Big Ten tournament, yes. 7 seed in the NCAA tournament.
I also like Northwestern here.
Can't say I disagree with Jim. And the final game in the West on Thursday night, we have UCLA taking on UNC Asheville. UCLA favored by 17.5 points. Alex?
2 UCLA injuries in the last regular season game. They lost Jalen Clark to an ankle injury, and in the Pac-12 semifinals, they lost Adam Bona. So something to keep in mind. It looks like a runaway, but UCLA is going to be down a couple.
Are they formally down? I knew that it was undecided whether or not.
Yeah, I don't know if they're. I shouldn't say that. I don't know I still don't know if they're actually out. Yeah. But I figure even if they're back, we'll be full strength. I don't think it'll be a problem against UNC Asheville, but going forward, could be trouble.
Got it. Getting into Friday action in the West region, we have number 5 seed St. Mary's taking on VCU, Virginia Commonwealth. St. Mary's favored by 4.5.
Give me VCU.
Yeah, is that just because of the year that they made this Final Four?
I just like VCU.
Plus points, money line. What are you thinking?
Plus the points.
That's fair. Don't have much there aside from it is the West and it is St. Mary's. So usually plays in their favor. St. Mary's and Gonzaga in the same region.
Yep. Interesting.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Another Friday action in the West. We have UConn taking on Iona in the 4-13 matchup. UConn favored by 9.5.
UConn does not have a stellar record. They're 25-8, but some of their wins include Alabama, Creighton, Marquette, as well as a couple other solid wins. So look out for UConn.
Yeah, it's people. This is another team that a lot of the analysts are high on is UConn because of their wins.
Yeah.
We don't, it's like when a team has really good wins and makes a tournament, that's all they focus on. They don't focus on the fact that they lost 8 games to teams that were probably far less challenging.
Seven of them were, I think, like 7 of them were in conference. So
right, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, UConn is obviously has the ability.
Yes, I think that's what it gets down to. Some of these teams come in and you think they're great teams, but do they actually have the ability to beat other great teams?
Next, we have the 6 seed TCU taking on Arizona State at the 11, or Nevada, whoever wins that playing game. So, I mean, I'm just going to say TCU, but we're not counting this towards the records.
I would also say TCU there.
Yeah. And in the last game from the West, the number 3 seed Gonzaga taking on Grand Canyon. Gonzaga favored by 15.5 points as the 3 seed against Grand Canyon. Oof. Why isn't Grand Canyon playing in a playing game? Like, this makes no sense to me.
I hear you.
It is an odd situation that we are in, which now brings us into our picks for the week, or for the first round matchups. We will start in the South again. We're gonna bypass the play-in games, which means we're going to start with the number 8 seed Maryland taking on West Baghdad, Virginia.
Yep.
Where are we sitting with this game, gents?
I am going to take my Mountaineers.
I'll roll with Alex on this one.
This is Mountaineers money line. Remember, this is a betting show.
This is Mountaineers minus 2.5 for me.
Me too.
I'm going to take the under 137.5 in this game. I see the first round jitters coming into play, and West Virginia can get on a cold spell quick.
True.
Doesn't mean they're going to lose. They can stay in it with their defense, is what I'm saying. But they can also.
I like you didn't bet against me.
Yes. Next, we have the number 5 seed San Diego State taking on the College of Charleston as 12 seed. I will start out, and I'm going to take the College of Charleston plus the points. Give me the West Liberty University ties in this one.
I'm with you on that. I might even sprinkle on the not for my best bet record, but I might sprinkle money line Charleston as well. There's usually a good 12-5 game, and I think this has the makings of it.
Okay, Jim.
I took San Diego minus 5.5.
Okay. Next, we have 4 Virginia taking on number 13 Furman.
I'm Cavalier.
5.5 point favorite.
Yep. Give me Virginia minus 5.5.
Jim.
I took the under 131.5.
Did you?
Yeah. Virginia Furman, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also took the under 131.5. Jim, why are you taking under 131.5?
Because I got nervous about doing Virginia. So I just went to the alternative of, so if I don't want to do the points, I'll take the under.
Is that your go-to?
Yeah.
Always going to take the under, never the over?
I think I took one over in that situation. But yeah, pretty much the under.
Okay. Next, we have 7 Missouri taking on Utah State. Utah State favored by 1.5. That was that odd 10-7 where the 10 seed was favored. Alex, where are you feeling on this?
I haven't watched enough basketball this year to go against the grain. If they're saying Utah State, I'm going Utah State. Give me Utah State minus 1.5.
I'm going to take Missouri plus 1.5, Jim.
Missouri plus 1.5.
And lastly, we have number 2 Arizona taking on number 15 Princeton over under 153.5, and the spread is
13.5.
13.5. Give me the under. Give me the smart kids controlling the ball against the Wildcats. Give me the
I'm
under.
going to go with Arizona minus 13.5.
I took the under. Again, got nervous. The big spread, so I went under.
That's fair. You're allowed.
That was the South on Thursday. The South on Friday matchups. We have number 6 Creighton taking on NC State. Creighton favored by 5.5, and I'm going to take that. Give me Creighton to cover 5.5 versus NC State.
I'm with Muff.
I took Creighton.
So
Minus
is that
5.5.
the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week?
It could be. It's about the only one thus far. Next, we have number 3 Baylor taking on UC Santa Barbara. Baylor favored by 11.5, and that's where I'm going to stay in this one. Give me Baylor to cover.
I will also be going Baylor to cover.
So will I.
Okay.
I got 2.
2. Next, moving on to the East region. Thursday matchups. We have number 5 Duke taking on the Oral Bobbies. Duke favored by 6.5, and that's where I'm going to stay with this game. Give me Duke to cover.
Me too.
I'm going Oral Bobbies. Oral Bees plus 6.5.
Alex has done it. Alex Dunk did it.
Did it.
And the other game on Thursday in the East region, we have number 4 Tennessee taking on Louisiana Lafayette, the Rack and Cagans. Tennessee favored by 10.5, and that's where my money will be.
Mine will be on the opposite. I will go with ULL plus 10.5.
I'm with Alex.
Bingo.
Rack and Cagans.
In the East region, the Friday matchups, we have a play-in game, which means nothing.
And then we have Memphis versus Florida Atlantic.
Correct. Jim.
I took Memphis. Minus 2.5.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that moved, huh? I'm going to stick with the Memphis minus 2.5.
Memphis money line on this one.
Okay.
It's within that 3.5 that we established.
It was.
Next, we've got number 6 Kentucky taking on 11 Providence.
Give me Providence plus 3.5. I think this is Kentucky's. I think Kentucky got a 6 seed. I don't know that from what I watched of them this year, they deserved a 6 seed. I know they've been a little up and down. I think Providence can handle the business. Even if they lose, I think it'd be a very close game. So give me Providence plus 3.5.
I'm going to take Kentucky money line, Jim.
Kentucky minus 3.5.
All right.
There it is. Next, we have the number 3 seed Kansas State taking on number 14 seed Montana State. Kansas State favored by 8.5.
I'm going to roll with that.
Alex rolling with that, as am I, Jim.
Which game are we on?
Kansas State, Montana State.
Kansas State minus 8.5.
Yep.
All right. Next, we have Michigan State, number 7 seed, taking on the number 10 seed USC. Give me USC plus the points, 2.5 in this game.
I am with Muff.
I took USC minus
Plus.
or plus 2.5.
I think this is the year Izzo gets bounced early. A year.
A year. And the last game in the East region, or at least the last game on our slate, we have number 2 Marquette taking on number 15 Vermont. Jim.
I took the under. 144.5.
Alex.
I feel good about Marquette minus 11.5 in this one.
I'm on the over in this game. Give me them points from the Catamounts.
I think it's my favorite is when we're all on a different bet like that.
Right. It's exciting.
It is.
It's provocative.
It's the people going. Also hard. That's all I got.
That should be great.
Yeah.
That shit crack.
Oh. I think we just got flagged on YouTube for sounding so much like Jay-Z.
Yeah, I was gonna say they weren't gonna be able to delineate the difference.
They're not gonna know for sure. Next, we are in the East region,
Midwest.
We're in the Midwest. I scrolled a little bit and got all confused. Next, we're in the Midwest. Thursday matchups. We have number 1 Houston taking on Northern Kentucky. Houston favored by 19.5 points. Give me the Houston Cougars to cover.
Go Cougs.
I got the over 122.5.
It's not a bad pick.
As if my other picks were bad? What are you trying to say?
No. Did I say that?
Good grief.
I just said that one in particular wasn't bad.
Jim wants a
I
higher. Jim wants a higher than about a 70-50 score in this. Do you think that's possible, Jim?
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
We will. Next, we have number 8, Iowa, taking on number 9, Auburn. Auburn. This is Iowa minus a half point.
War Eagle.
Or Eagle is right. I'm with Alex on that. Give me Auburn.
Give me Iowa. Money line.
There you go. Next, we have Texas A&M, not to be confused with Texas, where seeds come from, taking on number 10, Penn State. Texas A&M favored by 2.5. Is that right?
Yes.
Jim.
I got Penn State plus 2.5.
I'm with Jim.
I'm going to take the over in this game. I don't want to be on it. I don't want to be on it. I just want to be
Fair.
rooting for points. Penn State win. It's also going to be a late game Thursday too.
Yeah, it is.
Woof.
I was going to make the point that the chances of me staying up and watching that one with you are going to be slim.
I will not be at the Dirty Dog Tavern until that time of the night, Alex, just so we're clear.
On a school night.
On a school night, correct. And lastly, on Thursday action in the Midwest, we have number 2, Texas, taking on Colgate, where you can brush your seeds for pearly whites.
Or get some seeds. Never mind.
Texas to cover 13.5. Jim.
I got Texas to cover.
You with seed?
Jim's with the seed.
Texas.
I'm down with the sickness. Yes.
Jim's down with the seedness. And in Friday action in the Midwest, we have number 5, Miami, taking on number 12, Drake.
Give me the U. Minus 2.5.
I'm taking Drake plus them points.
I am as well.
Let's do this dance, Alex. Number 4, Indiana, taking on Kent State. I am going to actually be on over-under in this. I'm going to go with over 140.5 points.
I'm going to go the Hoosiers.
The cover or what?
The cover. Minus 4.5.
Me too.
The next game is the play-in game, but I just want to say that I will be Pitt money line in it.
Pitt money line.
I know it doesn't count towards our best bets or whatever, but that's what I'm leaning.
If it happens, I will. I probably will too.
Okay. And the last game in the Midwest. Number 3, Xavier, X to the egg, Xavier taking on number 14, Kennesaw State. Xavier favored by 11.5, which is where my money will be. Give me the Musketeers to win and cover.
I'm with you, Muff.
What did I did, yes, the same. Indeed.
Indubitably. Lastly, moving on to the West region, we have number 1, Kansas, taking on number 16 seed Howard. Kansas favored by 21.5 points. Give me Kansas to cover.
I agree.
As do I.
Number 8, Arkansas, taking on number 9, Illinois. Arkansas favored by 2.5, but my money's going the other way. Give me Illinois plus the points.
I will also be going with the Illini.
Me too.
In additional Thursday action from the West region, we have number 7, Northwestern, taking on Boise State. The 7 versus 10 match up.
Give me Northwestern.
Me too.
I am on Northwestern money line as well.
I'm going minus 1.5.
Me too.
Okay. Number 2, UCLA, taking on number 15 seed UNC Asheville. UCLA favored by 17.5 points, but may have 2 players in less than ideal conditions. What are we feeling, boys?
This was a tough one for me. I am staying with UCLA minus 17.5 in this game. I think that if they win this game and Northwestern wins, I think Northwestern takes them, has a good chance to take them out in the second round. But for this game, I'm going to stick with UCLA taking care of their business.
I took the over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the UCLA to cover. And lastly, in the Friday games in the West region, we have number 5, St. Mary's, taking on VCU.
VCU plus 4.5.
I'm with Jim.
I'm on the over in this game. Give me over 122.5. St. Mary's VCU. Number 4, UConn, taking on Iona. UConn favored by 9.5, which is where my money will be. Give me UConn to
UConn
cover.
minus 5, 9.5.
UConn, UConn.
Yep.
There it is. TCU, the 6th seed, taking on the 11th play-in game. My fault. Get it out of the mix. Last game of the first round for us to chat about, put our best bets in. Number 3, Gonzaga taking on Grand Canyon. Gonzaga favored by 15.5 points. Give me the Zags to cover.
Yep.
Yup. Which brings us through the first round matchups. Our second round will be something that we will have to cover ourselves. We have to get those in and track them.
Yes. We can do it.
Make sure to the people in this this call, make sure we get those picks in and track them.
I might bail on you guys for the second round.
That's not betting every game, Jim.
I said I would bet every first round game.
Ooh, is that what you said?
If any loyal listener specifically remembers what Jim promised, please reach out.
Please.
I will give you $5 if you personally go through and find the clip.
So the next round's what? 32 games?
Next round
is 32 games.
Next round is 16 games.
It'll half every time.
Yep.
So 16 games.
Right. And you'd have to do it Saturday and Sunday morning, or all Saturday morning, depending on how you want to do it, or Friday night.
So when do my bets have to be in?
Before the game starts.
When those games start?
Saturday and Sunday.
All right, I'll go with round 2. Yeah, we'll do that.
After that, you might as well keep going. So it's
Yeah. Well, it depends how much money I've lost at that point.
How much money you win, Jim? Positive mindset.
Yeah.
We'll
Positive
see, right?
vibes only.
I'm still. You're gonna have to keep track of your own BS in this sheet, Jim.
Hey, I got it all figured out. Just don't mess with my colors.
Don't touch his crayons.
Don't touch your crayons. Talk about your Texas seed. Get your crayons out the way. Get the oral bobbies and your toothbrush ready to get Colgate clean. Because this is Sports Stuff Betting Stuff. NCAA Tournament Bracket Challenge time. Get those best bets in. Remember, at Sports Gym Up on Instagram and Twitter. Tweeter. Get in that link tree. Get into the free entry. Free prizes. Free. Everybody loves free.
Oh, free.
Oh, free. And everything's for free when you're winning. Not for free when you're losing. I don't know how we're going to lead into this, but Lizzo always tells us
it's about damn time.